My beautiful stars, reading time. This one's very specific. So, person on your mind, it could be both of you, especially if it's a soul connection. You could be really mirroring the same focus right now. But I'm hearing there's something about someone reflecting on, I think the word is more misjudged. You've got someone here reflecting on never really getting to know you at a deep level, which is making me feel you're one of my collectives, you're dynamic. It could have been more of kind of that conquest energy. You could have been this person's boss. This person could have kind of been maybe competing for your affections, with somebody else. I'm seeing you as being kind of a thrill, a challenge for this person. So through really trying to gain your affections, they were creating this image of you in their mind, right? Kind of putting you on a pedestal in their mind. This collective, whoever this person is, they clearly put quite a bit of effort into conquering you, right? And I'm just seeing someone now in deep reflection thinking they never really knew you. They didn't get the time to really understand your soul because they had created this image. I feel you two just got kind of lost in this whirlwind romance, and it would have been quite affectionate. And when it came to the surface level things, maybe it felt quite emotional and quite deep. But when it came to you as a person, I don't think this person connected to you really took the time to embrace your inner soul, to discover the inner you, and maybe through certain things of you really shining through your authenticity or you shining through your raw and real self, they either never really took notice of it or they had judgment towards certain things. I just think for this collective, the reflection this person's going through, they're starting to realize what they created up here. They never took the time to understand your soul. And I feel this person is going through some form of regret right now, because as they painted this image of you in their mind, as they were trying to conquer you, they did the exact same thing as this kind of fell apart, right? And I'm just seeing someone, it's like they're just having this wake-up call of like, oh my God, how didn't I see this? How didn't I see this person? How didn't I embrace this person? Now, for the right collective, I kind of feel you have had the same thought pattern, but in your own right. Maybe thinking, oh my God, I just never really understood this person, or I never, saw the signs in this person that showed us maybe we were misaligned, especially if they were trying to push away your authentic self or they didn't accept your authentic self. I feel this collective, you in your own kind of thought pattern, it's more maybe you're seeing the misalliance when, especially if you were in this extreme whirlwind romance, sometimes we can really think that surface level of flattery or validation, or especially if it was an intense physical connection, it makes you feel the bond is so much deeper than it really is. If you don't know someone at the depth of the soul, how can you genuinely feel you love them? You're leading with the lust emotion, right? So, right collective, this will make sense. But like I said, it's very specific. So I just want to quickly confirm your connected energy, and we'll kind of do a you versus them. But main collective, this person, it's like there's glass shattering around them right now. You got 4. Okay, so they're stalking your socials. So maybe it's through your socials that they're starting to get this wake-up call. Maybe through watching you. I feel this person, it's like this real analyzing of you and your character right now. Watching, lurking, secretly obsessed. Okay, this person, and I'm feeling that. I do feel there's a burnt bridge here. Like I said, And it's really hard with perception. I talk about it all the time. When you have a perception of a situation, a truth, a person, there's nothing anyone can say, it's you, right? That doesn't get changed with words, it's actions. Maybe it's viewing things for a long time that starts to change an outlook up here. And I do think that this person, unfortunately, because they never really understood you, because they had once again created probably a negative image for them to have the strength to kind of walk away from this. They could have maybe not treated you the best, or been quite cold, or now through watching you, they're starting to realize, oh my gosh, I've really burnt a bridge here. How do I come back from this? Okay, but their soul. So maybe because they're starting to understand themselves better, they're actually starting to see the real you. If they're starting to understand themselves at a deep level, I always say, and this really could be a mirrored connection, maybe the reason that they didn't accept your authentic self, or didn't get the time to know your authentic self, because they weren't ready to see their authentic self, right? But their soul's coming back online. They're going through some form of alignment, some form of spiritual reset. Their energy's returning to them right now. And they could see this about you as well, especially if part of your authenticity was quite spiritually aligned, or that's hard for people to accept. A lot of people, let's be real, us spiritualists, we can be put in the woo-woo basket, right? But the back and forth here, how it was very back and forth. Maybe they're going through arguments. Maybe you were connected to, once again, more of that escapist. Like I said, this person never got time to know you at a deep level. So how they would treat others, maybe they would treat you. Certain arguments, I'd go straight for the door. When things were going smooth, they would create chaos. And if you are some form of spiritualist, you would have, in these moments, you would have dealt with conflict differently to how this person deals with conflict. You're probably someone that goes more within. You really like to, process it internally before just going back and forth with someone. Maybe this is something this person just wasn't used to. So you going within, you retreating, maybe in their mind, it was more, well, this person doesn't really care. I just think you wouldn't take the bait with this person. Maybe towards the end you did, because I always say trauma rubs off on trauma. But this back and forth, they're really replaying in them, which is also making me think, especially with this burnt bridge, maybe this person has had multiple opportunities to kind of, I don't want to say fix this connection, but have a return of this connection. But again, how they were viewing you was just very misguided. I think this person is really starting to realize the lack of effort that they really provided you. The emotional yo-yo, I definitely think this person's confused. Okay, the addictions cut the emotional chains to you right now. So this is underneath stalking your socials. Maybe this person really did put you in the category of a toxic connection, or again, for them to be watching and realizing that they weren't seeing this right. I do think for a long time, because this person was pushing the real you away, it would have become quite toxic. You would have felt so misunderstood in this connection. You would have felt, maybe not in the midst of the whirlwind, but there would have been moments, even through the whirlwind, where you thought, this person just doesn't really know me. They don't really accept me. But again, being driven by lust and being driven by a magnetic pull, we can ignore those red flags. But if that was suppressed in you, your relationship could have had quite a few obstacles here, especially when it came to communication. I want one more for this. But this is also about addictions. I do think this person is a little bit addicted to you right now. maybe you guys actually, especially because it feels like quite a thrilling kind of connection, maybe you guys had some kind of toxic things here to add to the excitement. Maybe for a long time they didn't think that this was love. They thought it was controlling, especially if you guys were living in each other's pockets. Through watching you, this is what's changing their outlook, right? This is what's making them understand they didn't really know you. And like I said at the start, they created a perception to get you. You were like this, in their mind, right? But they did the same when they left you. They created these images of you that you were never really, because they never took the time to understand you, right? So this would make sense with maybe the regret from now looking in. One more for this. That you gave them your all and they never appreciated it. Maybe they thought that they gave you their all, but now they're starting to realize you gave them so much, right? Overgiving, how you felt drained. I'm actually seeing that as you kind of just in a corner, feeling very lost, and they never really took time. Remember I just said it's like you would retreat? Why am I seeing that image as you, where I think this person thought this was them? I think they thought they overgave to you, that you could have been controlling here, that you had certain toxic ties and traits. This is what they're now starting to realize they weren't seeing properly, right? Let's get one more. They're living in the memories. So it's all, what's that, Celine? It's all coming back. Celine song? It's all coming back to me now. Is that what it's called? That's what I just heard in my mind. Past replaying, stuck in emotions, very sentimental right now. Like I said, I'm just feeling a lot of regret for this outlook. And now they're focusing on this bridge and how back and forth this has been. Why do I want one more for that? It's never really over. Lingering energy, soul tie, the lack of closure. Maybe you guys do have unfinished business. Maybe you guys haven't really had a deep conversation about any of this. All right, burnt bridge. What if? Now they have, there's that regret first word. What if this didn't happen? What if I saw overanalyzing? They're overprocessing everything. They're imagining the future, what could have been. And look at that full moon just over her, him, and it's sad. Moon is our feminine energy. I just think there's so much sadness here. There's a lot of regret about whatever this has been here. A lot of regret. Okay. Soul coming back online. Okay, maybe they only accessed you when it was convenient for them. This is what they're starting to realize through this reset, that they weren't showing you depth, made you feel used. But now they see you glowing up, and maybe they're glowing up as well. If they're going through a spiritual alignment, again, they would be seeing things differently. Inner radiance. I'm seeing both of you in that. All right, the back and forth. How they gaslighted here. Okay, so through this back and forth, how they have been muted and not moved on, hiding their feelings, faking being calm through still hurting. So again, it makes sense with this. I just think this person, whatever interactions you've had since your, let's say, union, because of the perception they were blinded to that they created, like that's pretty heavy. If they had put you in the basket of being toxic, that it wasn't really ever, that you never loved them the way that they loved you, that they gave you their all, that like if they were in that perception, they would have been treating you cold. Again, this person was trying to validate the reason they were treating you this way, because they weren't in self-awareness, clearly. And if you guys did have quite a thrilling kind of naughty, especially when it came to, you know, if there was certain addictions, they could have even been blinded to that, thinking maybe that was a reason that it was so intense as well. Like if you guys were, like I said, I'm just feeling this whirlwind of fog in one another. All right, one more. Blocked. Okay. I do think you finally chose yourself. This is with that burnt bridge. I really do think that this person, something about the truth really hurts here. A reality check, a wake-up call. Their eyes are clearing. Let's get one more for that. Repeated cycles. There's clearly been some repeated cycles with you guys. You can see it because of what they're replaying, especially with this back and forth. But I even think the way that they could be reflecting on how they really chose themselves here. Again, if they were seeing you like this in that moment, especially if they were getting advice from others, I think they were really firm in kind of protecting themselves here. I'm going to be honest, and not really caring about the damage they were creating for you. Again, it's really sad. I just think both of you just never really understood what this connection truly was. Oh, one more. Okay. The silent exit, energy protection. You never really loved them anyway. So that's literally kind of just confirming what we said. You could have had an act separation here. Even though you've had a bit of back and forth, maybe it really was done very cold, but because they thought this really wasn't going to go anywhere, right? It's like once they finally conquered you, once that challenge, that thrill had kind of gone away, this person started to detach here. It's really sad. Okay. Just quickly before we keep going, I just want to confirm with Tarot how they're actually seeing you. Let's really just see if this person is understanding who you are at a deep level. Now, and then I just want to get your perspective on all of this. Are my eyeballs on? No. Okay. Actually, do you know what we're going to do? I want to see this person's past perspective, and then I want to see their current perspective. That's what we're going to do. Let's get 2 decks for this. See if we get mirrored cards, because if we do, that's going to be a bit alarming. Because I'm feeling a positive change in this person, but let's just confirm. Oh. All right, so let's see their past perspective on this. That was 5 of Wands. So again, competition. I really do feel, yes, chaotic, but the competition of that card, I really feel that that's a huge thing here. You, in my mind, are coming off as kind of, and this, not saying this to, I'm going to say it because it's coming to my mind. It's kind of that trophy kind of energy. I really feel it was the challenge of you, right? Watch from the beginning. Okay, let's see this person's past perspective. And then we're going to do the same for you, your past and present perspective. Okay. Wow, that's nice. This is their past. Holy moly! Okay, past perspective. You've got Queen of Cups, the Star, 4 of Wands, and Page of Cups. They could even, this could be them reflecting on the past. Like, that is you, that is my divine child, cosmic being, with Queen of Cups, emotionally centered, emotionally balanced. Your psychic abilities. your loyalty, your empathy. With Four of Wands, that's my 20 card. This person, that's like marriage, right? So even in the past, like the star, she's so spiritually connected. She's serene, she's calm, she's content in her faith. So they did see this about you, but maybe that Page of Cups, they didn't really understand. Like, that's a beautiful progression. I always say that all of the cup suits in tarot, they're psychically inclined. They're very connected to their intuition. This could be them past perspective, kind of a little bit naive to who you truly were, or a little bit of clouded judgment. Definitely hopeless romantic, right? I actually do think this part of your soul maybe actually drew them in, where I was feeling this collective, they didn't really understand this about your soul. But your beauty, the romance here, was definitely a whirlwind to them. Hold on, let's get one more for your top row. Why do I feel this is that? It's going to be interesting to what confirms these. King of Wands, conquering you. Maybe as well there could have been, he's quite young, but then you've got, there's definitely something, because he's the conqueror, right? And I feel this person conquered you, but you as a person, visionary, very passionate. You could have been an entrepreneur. I remember at the start I said you could have been this person's boss. You could have been branching out into your own business, but your creativity, very business savvy. You were successful. He's such an honorable energy though. Like, these are very positive cards. He's very charismatic as well. But you would have had a strength behind you. You would have, especially if you were a big achiever when it came to your financial path, that means you have a strength in your yang energy, right? Okay, let's confirm these. This is a really nice past perception. It makes sense with why they felt like they gave you their all, that they loved you more than you loved them. Like, if this is how they viewed you, okay, let's confirm. Then the Tower, the internal lessons. And I'm going to read that both way. I do think you came into their life suddenly, unexpectedly. I don't think they were even ready for a love like yours. Maybe they were coming out of heartbreak. That could have been another reason they were so enticed by you. If they were coming out of heartbreak and they couldn't find that spark or that attraction to anyone, and then you came along, again, it increased this challenge in their mind and this image they were creating for you. When they reflect back on the past, I always say that Tower in reverse for me is a lot about internal growth, internal chaos to expand us, especially to have Queen of Cups here. But I do think they go over the destruction of this, how sudden it was, how it really tore a lot of things apart, not just externally, but internally. And I'm also hearing the way you would deal with chaos. I felt that as I was reading the start of this. Why do I feel? Because this person's, like, this is really nice. I think this is more them reflecting on the past and how they didn't see things properly. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to see what confirms these. But if this person wasn't the most emotionally aware and they didn't know how to heal or soothe their internal chaos, remember, they're coming back into spiritual alignment, if they know it or not. I just don't think this person ever really appreciated the way you could get out of emotional conflict or sudden destruction, right? But I'm not going to lie, I'm hearing this because I keep staring at this psychic. You're in tune with emotion, your empathy. This was shocking to them. I do think it was shocking and hard for them to accept, especially with this star energy. I feel this could have been a block here for you. I feel this is one of the things they just wouldn't accept about you. They viewed it in a different lens. I'm literally in my mind seeing the devil card under this star, right? I don't think they understood the power of your connection, and I think they actually saw it in more of a negative way than a positive way. So with this star, 10 of Wands, it burdened them. You've got 4 of Swords both ways. So this here, this 4 of Swords in reverse, ghosting, dormant abilities, made them feel restless, was burning them out. It created stagnation and exhaustion. With this 10 of Wands, your sight, your spiritual connection, in the past, they weren't accepting of it. It overwhelmed them, which makes me think this person was hiding things, which makes me think this was too much for them to handle. You've got to remember, I was seeing the devil with that. I think now they're starting to realize 4 of Swords is actually upright. It's quite beautiful. It's an energy of true healing. It's going through a lot in the mind. I always say that mind ache, it creates such a surge of energy once those swords raise and we start to see things the right way. And I don't think this person understood maybe what you had been through in life and what you had kind of had to heal. I say anybody that's spiritually connected, anyone that's on a path of enlightenment, let it be religion or spirituality, you guys have gone through a lot. You've had to face a lot in life. And I just think this is where their perception is starting to shift now, right? But I do think it caused so much mental anguish for this person, your connection. So spirituality, religious factors, cult, this would have been a block in your dynamic. Don't make it fit. Remember I said I feel like this person was running away from their mirror. I don't think they were ever seeing this star energy correctly. They were seeing it as negativity because your sight put them in a corner. They weren't seeing it as this was your faith and your commitment to spirit, to creator, that this was part of who you were at the soul, that this is, your peace and calm, and the way you would retreat was your serenity. It was part of your purpose. It was part of just how you move through life. They couldn't accept it because in their perception, your sight meant seeing things that maybe they weren't ready for you to see, right? They couldn't understand the greatness that this energy embodies. It was the fear in them. I feel this person tried to shut down the most powerful part of your soul. Spirit would never have allowed that. Never. If you have this within you and you're a cosmic child, you've got something to do here in this world. This probably bloody ended as quick as it started for this collective. If they were trying to push this away from you, I want one more for that. Yeah, this is why they broke your heart, disappointed you, revoked the offers, made you feel maybe gaslighted, manipulated. It's this row right here. It was your star energy. This is where the perception's shifting. This is where they know they misjudged you. They didn't get the time to understand you. It was always there, but they pushed it away. They broke your heart because of it. That's really sad. 4 of train horn. So it wouldn't surprise me, because the revoked offers, this person really did promise you the world. But see, this is their mind, their perception. They knew this, but they still blamed everything else for why they walked away. Where deep in their soul, it was, again, truly, I think for this collective, it was your sight. They weren't ready to face themselves in life. But they said it was because they loved you too much. It was toxic. It was this. It was that. It was this. No, they just weren't accepting who you were. They didn't like it. That might be hard to hear, but this collective, you would know it deep in your soul. And the way they left, the ghosting, the axe energy, the silent treatment. Okay, Four of Wands. Oh gosh. Three of Wands in reverse. They restricted everything. They returned back to their toxic life. They stalled it all because they were thinking small. They were thinking so short term. They were thinking how they felt in the moment. They weren't thinking long term. They weren't thinking about the promises they made you. You guys, in the nicest way, and we said it at the start, this connection was led by lust. I think you both felt like you loved each other, but you didn't get enough time to love each other. And your core qualities, what makes you you, they couldn't accept. So this person could have thought black and blue, they loved you to the moon and back. If they couldn't accept this about you, they didn't ever truly love you, right? I'm blocking. As soon as this started to get too chaotic emotionally, again, I don't think, and I'm saying this in a loving place, and again, the world, spirit, cycles work in a very funny way. If you were destined to this and you had someone holding you back from this, it would have only been very short-lived. This person was destined to think small here. This person was destined to give up quickly. And I think that's what happened here. It's like they saw you as everything that they wanted. They created this trying to conquer you, right? They put you on that pedestal. But once they got you, they just started holding on to the negativity instead of wanting to put in that work to truly conquer you and treat you honorably. Okay, so remember I said this could have ended as quick as it started. Maybe within the first month of your connection, it just started to get chaotic. The emotional awareness climax to move on, cycle completion, but it was always in a naive approach. And we're never seeing it right. I think this person was just blinded to their emotion, blinded to you. But within the first month of your connection, the cosmos were at play. They're already triggering an ending. Because right off the bat, this person tried to push this out of you. They never got the time to truly understand you and know you. The first month of your connection, don't make it fit. You had a cosmic trigger to end this, to have emotional climaxes. They would have held you back. Which means as a collective, you would have noticed this with this person. Everything that makes you you, you started putting on the back burner for this person. You could be someone in love. You can just get easily distracted. And when it comes to someone you love, especially as a Queen of Cups here and that loyalty that she has, I think you can really adapt yourself to your partner's needs and wants. And the right collective, your mind should be taking you to places where you started to maybe even close this off about yourself because of them, or not put in the effort and the drive that you should have been to this. It's like the cosmos gave you guys like a month to see if you could still thrive in this and push through this. Makes me feel like birthright mission. And I just feel this collective, it was clearly destined for it to be this way. I always say destiny. You have a destined path, but free will It alters your timeline. It prolongs your cycles. It prolongs that end stop. And I just feel this was destined to be prolonged. And this is underneath this Page of Cups. So I do think age is something here as well on both ends. Emotional maturity on both ends. You needed to develop. Okay, this King of Wands. Maybe there was a fire sign that, sorry, I'm sitting on my brush. Maybe there was a fire sign that was connected to this. It could have been a bit of interference, created uncertainty, delay tactics, put this on hold. Again, this is their past perspective. So I always say, if it is a true divine Four of Wands, especially with all these spiritual cards, there's always interference long before you come along. It's part of your karmic wheels. It's part of the lessons in life. I'm going to be honest, past perspective, I feel me, not even from them, but from me seeing this, I think this was destined because this collective, one, this threw you off your path, your commitment to self. Two, I think you started enabling this person's bad behavior, that back and forth, that escapist. You were losing your strong sense of self. You were losing your emotional center. You were losing this star energy, trying to adapt to this person. It's reminding me of that off-balance relationship. The worse they started treating you, the more they started pulling away, the more that they started, creating this energy. It's like you were just losing yourself bit by bit, right? And it was all because love was everything for you. If this didn't happen, I guarantee you would not be who you are today. And this person would probably be 1,000 times worse. I think the heartbreak of this for both of you, it transformed you into people you were meant to be. Is this person completely there? I'm not sure, but they are going through some form of spiritual alignment and reset right now. I think maybe they're starting to finally wake up to some of their traits and, unfortunately, some of the way they see things. And I also definitely feel there was something here that added to the negativity of who you truly were. I think they had people in their ear kind of really, your gifts were made to, I'm going to be honest, be made, like I said, I was seeing that devil card with that. I think it was made to be believed it was darkness, right? And I definitely think you had one person here that could have been misconstruing things on both ends. Okay. Right collective, that may be like a penny. Moon created a veil, illusion, anxiety, fear. Maybe Pisces. Was bound to a misconception through deception. And what's sad is this person has held this perception for so long. Only up until recent. But anyway, let's see their current perspective. Let me get these. Current. Hold on a sec. I'm just going to cleanse that because let me just completely remove that past energy. Hold on. All right. Current perspective. Oh my God, your very first card. Oh my God. It makes sense why this is so, you can feel your spiritual soul in this. Twin flame. And they got the coming in. I'm a little bit shocked with that. Twin flame, reunion, the one, divine union, completion, life purpose. They understand your divine soul, your divine purpose. Ace of Swords, the breakthrough of the mind, the epiphany, the clarity coming over them now. They'd be so focused on this, that social media, all the back and forth, the very first part, the back and forth, not seeing you properly. Juggling the external. There's enlightenment happening right now. This is, I'm taking that to that first part, how back and forth they were here, because they weren't seeing you. Whatever's happened with this Ace of Swords, like I said at this, there is a huge epiphany happening right now. They're having a light bulb moment. Remember I said it's like they're like, the glass is shattering around them. I think for so long this person was thinking that you had changed. It's not, and you're meant to change like the seasons, but the thing is, this has always been who you were. And I just don't think they ever believed in the depth of who you were, because who you were, divine being, they were seeing as darkness, but that was their own perception they had created. So the more you were expanding, the more divine you were becoming, the more you were purpose driven. This person would have thought you were wearing a mask. They would have thought it was all bloody what, because they weren't believing it in their mind, because of what image they created of you. It's not that you, yes, again, you would have changed, but you were always who you were. They just never took the time to really understand you and get to know you. They only got to know the surface you, the vessel you, the meat suit you, right? Watch from the beginning. They didn't realize this is why they were drawn to you. They would have thought they were drawn to you because of your physical appearance. They were drawn to your magical soul, but they pushed your magical soul away because they weren't ready to face their own magical soul, right? For this to be your first card, this with Ace of Swords, and they got coming into spiritual alignment, spiritual reset, they would know about this journey. They would understand. And now they feel like a fool. And burning that bridge, right? And the perception of how they thought you were just toxic, and like, watch from the beginning. They were projecting all of their nastiness onto you because they wouldn't accept it about themselves, or running away from it. The lack of self-awareness. The third parties that easily influence, Three of Cups in reverse, other people's influence. Not listening for themselves, why it got delayed, being on hold. This person would think you've moved on now. Maybe that's why they're stalking your socials as well. But it's being guided from up above. The universe is making sure that they're going through this. This would be coming through a cosmic trigger for them right now. Just how the cosmic trigger came for them to not see you. For there to be nothing but ignition to really break, to move on from each other, right? Watch from the beginning. They themselves were clearly meant to awaken. Nine of Pentacles, your achievements. You would be such an independent person. And maybe this is what they're reflecting on in the past. There's something about the way you would deal with conflict in the past that this person didn't understand. They thought it was because you didn't love them. I really feel this collective, you're someone that can really shut down in the midst of conflict. It's not that you don't want to address it, but you're just someone with that star and that Queen of Cups energy. You would be someone that needs to find the center before expression. That would just be a natural thing for you. But they were so used to toxic love. Your emotional maturity made them feel like you didn't love them, where it was the opposite. You just maybe had more life experience, love experience, definitely experience when it came to emotion. I genuinely think because you weren't as toxic, they thought you didn't love them, but then they put you in the toxic category. Very odd energy, right, collective? This will completely make sense. Watch from the beginning. You were independent. You were someone on the grind. And I don't think they ever appreciated this about you either. They could have thought you were all work, no play. You're just a high achiever. You're a world. But and remember the Five of Wands upright wanted to come out in the past perspective, but how you harmonize, how you find solutions through chaos, just as we were saying it. They never saw the way you dealt with emotion properly. They never saw that star in you. You are someone that likes to find solution. You're a problem solver, right? You like harmony around you. You like peace. Where I genuinely don't think this person got it. I really think this person put you in the category of being toxic or just uninterested, because you wouldn't fight fire with fire. You probably did towards the end because they were rubbing off on you. But I just feel this collective it wouldn't surprise me if you're a 6. I just feel peace is something that you have. It's something you need harmony, but because they overgeneralize, because it's something they would never even think in their mind because they're accustomed to chaos. You wanting peace, it didn't make sense to them. They didn't understand it. So they thought maybe you were trying to be manipulative, whatever it is. This person was overgeneralizing you. You should think, act, or you do think and act the way that they think and act, which is a very dangerous thing to do. I tell everybody, do not overgeneralize. People do not think like you. This person, and it shows the kind of person they were within, because what they were projecting onto you, it was their own behavioral traits that they thought you embodied, right? True projection. Now they're starting to realize they were never seeing this right. Where they thought it was chaotic and the misunderstandings, you just wanted solution. You wanted peace. Sad. Two of Wands. I think this is more how, and again, current, since all this, I just think you have been future planning. I think they do understand that. I don't think you're an easily swayed person. I definitely think you sit in contemplation before making big decisions, which is a big thing they're starting to understand about you. But I do think this person's looking in, thinking you have options right now. And do they have moments of wanting partnership and companionship here? I definitely think so. But you've got to remember, this person's starting to really believe that they've burnt the bridge here. And 2 and 2, the duality, you have this sense of balance within, right? But the way you keep progressing, let's confirm these. Current. Oh, harvest season, how it's been germinating. So this has been germinating in their mind. I see this as kind of a yearly turnover. This twinny journey for this person, there's been seeds being planted for about the past year here. This says long-term investment, but Saturn's gift, a reward through all the delays. There's a germination of this journey that's been happening for a long time for this person, but they just weren't ready to accept it. The cosmos. They needed to have this epiphany. It wasn't even that they didn't understand this journey, it was you. They didn't understand you. They were still holding on to resentment and anger because they never saw this situation correctly. Oh, God. There's that King of Wands again. And if there was an interference, I always say those things need to be severed. Breakthrough, epiphany with that person that created the delays and da-da-da. But also, remember how I was describing you. Your honor. You're an honorable person. You're a free spirit. You're a visionary. You're passion. You're like, they're starting to see this and believe this about you, right? Where before, I think it was just all too much. This says center stage, this card. It wouldn't surprise me. A true leader, that you're magnetic, independent, you're bold, very focused. One more for that. Detective watching you, very first card for them, but they're starting to see the details that they didn't see before. This one doesn't miss a beat. Now they're starting to see it all. He's literally my one that's standing on the sidelines with the binoculars looking in, right? But this is what the epiphany is coming from. Details that they just never took time to notice. Where this person thought they were noticing everything. This literally says stalker here. Just be careful. They're watching everything, truly, through curiosity. But I think the universe is making them, especially if this really is. I've got to get the universe's perspective. It's juggling. The Ten of Swords, the betrayal. I think that's a bit of them. The back and forth. Watch from the beginning. So you guys, in their mind, burnt bridge. Ten of Swords, you can't get any worse. That is complete rock bottom, right? Whatever's happened here with this back and forth, burnt bridge, Ten of Swords. And this is in their current perspective. So they'd be in agony over this right now, because look at how everything's that you finally close this out and that you have moved on and you have found your peace and you have healed from the mental anguish, right? That you found center through this. But I do think probably more than sometimes they really hope that you are still a thought here, that they are still a thought here. I want one more. I'm surprised that star card didn't come out. Two of Cups. So you got Two of Cups and you got the Twin Flame card. That you're their soul connection, in love with you. I've put that over the top of the Two of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. So you got 2-2-2 on this spread, by the way. They want this reconciliation, but then they reflect on the burnt bridge. One more. Very emotionally balanced though, but reflecting on the happy relationship, right? Understanding they were never seeing it right. Ace of Pentacles, you were their miracle. Ace of Pentacles, Star is my miracle card. And you could be very abundant right now as well. That you grounded that Ace of Pentacles. This says your abundance, your opportunities, the way you pull in manifestations, your rewards, your financial gain, your wealth, your money. But I'm more seeing that as, I always say, when that pentacle finally grounds, it feels like you're touched from the heavens. It all makes sense. One more. There's just not many. It's good that we've got this 22 of Cups, this wheel here. It's very destined energy. But I do still think even their current perspective, are they starting to understand you better? Yes. Are they completely seeing who you are as a person? I know we've got this here, and you don't need to be a male. It's the energy you embody. This is where their epiphany is coming from, this, right? I'm just surprised we're not seeing more cards about, yes, there's a lot of energy of how they view your life and, you know, certain, I guess, emotion and how you deal with things. But you as an actual person, there's not much here. One more for this epiphany. That Fool's wanted 4 of Wands, so you've got that again. 6 of Cups, holy moly. Whatever this epiphany is that's coming through this energy, they're going over that 4 of Wands again, right? This card literally says wanting a second chance at love, wanting to reignite the past. Whatever they are seeing, it's pushing them forward. There's a Queen of Swords at the bottom. That's probably not the best to be seeing that, because they still would take your pure intention. That's good. These are good cards, but one more. Epiphany, 6 of Swords. I think there's just so much in current perspective of really wanting to, if there's so much here about just wanting to be with you. How have I missed this boat? This is my person. This is my soul connection. This is this. I was never seeing this properly. But they are very good cards. But I think that there's so much focus on what the future may be, right? Which is still kind of, she's blinding them a little bit. This dynamic will not work if, I'm just surprised the High Priestess, the Star, like, even if the Queen of Wands came out, if they cannot accept, because this is what they couldn't accept with you in the past, if they can't accept that in their current perception, I promise you this collective, it won't work. Spirit won't let it work. That was your block. That's what created that cosmic trigger for this collective. I still think there needs to be a bit more adjustment here. It's like they're so blinded to, I guess, wanting this second chance and wanting to fix this. They think that they're starting to see things differently, but they're more seeing the honor in you and how, you know, you maybe weren't juggling them, but it's about your soul. It's about your soul that they should be seeing. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not seeing much of that here. Especially having Two of Cups and the Twinny Union card. I feel this person could still have a little bit of a naive approach. One more. Hermit. There's still your soul searching, your higher perspective, but I'm wanting to confirm this. I think there's still soul searching here. Beautiful transition. But I'm going to stick to, I don't think they're completely seeing it properly just yet. Themselves are going through a healing journey. There's that Queen of Cups again, which is good. I'm just going to ask the question, although I think that I was gonna ask, do they really understand? But I think that Hermit is pretty telling. I just think that this person, they're getting there. Are they completely there? No, I think they're really stuck in what may be, but it's clearly developing, which is beautiful. Like for them to want Four of Wands, this Six of Cups, the twin flame, it's very kind of, again, just focusing on that end stop. But hold on, I just want to quickly see the universe's perspective on your dynamic. I just want to get 6. Oh, you got the only card that's up the Star, the Miracle card. Wishes coming true, a miracle, falling in love again, Libra, Justice, the Purple Curtain, the life lessons, the truth, the balance, the integrity, the karmic debris. Business could really be tied to this. This is like my boss, CEO. Very protective energy though. Maybe that's more coming from up above. Maybe this is very protected. Perfect timing at the bottom. 16th of June, 15th of October. Social media is tied to this, the spying. But you're both destined for big things. This is the universe's perception, like for your connection. Internet fame, expansion, spotlight, connected, exposure. True divines, you're meant to achieve big things. This collective, your social media is clearly a puzzle piece here because it's coming out in every deck. Oh, Empress. That's beautiful. It was meant to make you really connect to this within you. Remember, she's a card of fertility and motherhood. It was meant to make you find your stillness in life. And the same for them. Same for them. We all embody yin and yang. But for them to truly see this in you, right? Not push this away from you. vice versa. I only wanted to get 6, but now I want to confirm them. Justice. Trust in the divine's always been at play from the moment you guys met. Trust in divine timing with this one. This is underneath. Justice is literally at play in your dynamic right now. You need to trust the divine. Okay, moving on from the past, going with the wind. This is with wishes coming true, 3rd of the 10th. And this is going places. One more for that. This is nice. Sun energy. This one is literally the yes card. It says yes, exclamation point. But divine masculine strength. Yes, exclamation point. Energy, power. Another emotional climax on its way. Success. Divine masculine victory. Happiness, warmth. I'm more seeing that as protective energy for some reason. Okay, something's in the middle of the season here. So something to do with purpose, confidence, getting things done, the bold and brave energy that's needed. Still a little bit of stubbornness. And even though there's a huge epiphany of who you are, this part, beautiful, very magical cards, but just what was just a little bit alarming, it's still very surface level. I don't think this person has completely, I think they do, but I promise you this collective, until this person really accepts who they are in the soul and the things that maybe they can or have really buried to the bottom of their soul, they have to accept who you truly are as a person. And just the lack of more internal self that has come out, especially with their past perception. I'm just really surprised you didn't get more cards about you, right? I think there's something here that still is evolving. Let's get one more for that. They've got it. It's spiritual growth. It's evolving, right? It's literally, this is a card of evolving. But it's starting to ground personal growth, past life connection, this current life's connection, evolving, and the connection to source. This middle one, it's evolving in a very positive way. It is in a very positive way. It's just not completely there yet. And they don't even know it, right? They probably think they're seeing your social media makes them sick. But it's a puzzle piece. It's what's creating the anxiety, the nagging in them, illness, fatigue, stress, but it's evolving them in a really odd way, right? Makes them restless. But it's making them start to understand and truly see you and understand that they misjudged you. Watch from the beginning. It's making them want a reconciliation with you. It's making them want, so even though it's wanting that forgiveness, wanting warmth here again, and making them reflect on the harmony and the beauty and all of the stuff that once was, right? Steady movement forward. Changing their belief system, the structure, by standing alone, right? I think this is important for both of you. And this is the main thing about this collective. The right wheels are turning in the mind, right? But there's still a little bit of this for a reason. You need to trust the universe. You need to trust the universe. Look at that. This says change happening. Oh, trust the universe. There's just a little bit of a mystery. I always say when this comes out, go to page 10 or 26 to a book that really calls you, just magnetically, right? See what the first line is. If this whole reading has resonated from part 1, it'll be a message from up above to align you to this, right? But there's a hidden mystery here, the unknown, certain secrets that will be revealed at the right time. Literally trust in the divine right now. This is what's activating in your purple curtain. Trust, surrender, patience. Believe. especially if they've been nagging at you emotionally of recent. You can feel the mind shift. And like I said at the start, you'd be reflecting it in your own right, the right collective. One more. Not that I should. New beginning. The bunnies. It's procreation. And luck is on your side. The 4-leaf clover. Just believe. Chariot. When it's time. Okay. I just want to see their true intention right now. I want to get some of those divine truth cards, see if they're really going through some form of soul activation. And then we'll get tarot for what's coming next in your dynamic. Why they were always so hot and cold with you. Cancer could be an important sign, but the energy, I was always so hot and cold with you, and I know that was confusing because they didn't understand their perception, right? Our connection was too much for me to handle, and it was the only way I could deal with it because they were never seeing it right. But and I said that at the start, this collective, the right collective, even if the story, like the story of your connection, because you could be in the same color, collectives work in colors, but your stories deviate. One of the most important details, you're both reflecting on this. You've had a moment to reflect on this over the past day or two, or even just before this reading. You're telepathically feeling them reflect on not understanding you. But the sad thing is this collective, because you're clearly coming into detachment, you're reflecting at it as you're starting to more think, why did I love this person? I was ruled by lust. I never really understood them. They didn't accept my core fundamentals. They never really took time to understand me, right? Don't make it fear. It's very, very important. That's one of the biggest. This confirms it. I know this is from their perspective. They can feel your energy, right? There's some form of telepathic bond here, but how we led this message, you're both reminiscing on this in your own ways, right? I feel you through everything, the things I touch, the image, and you've got to remember they're seeing you as a twin flame, a soul connect. Like they've got four of that. They understand the spiritual depth now, finally, from being unawakened for so long, and they'd feel like a fool for that. Let's get one for that. I was talking to myself. So unawakened came out, right? And I was saying, you want to hope that's changed, because this is clearly where they're feeling a little bit like, oh my God, how was I not seeing this right? Again, with all those divine cards. Then I wanted to confirm to make sure it was a past tense kind of thing. Sagittarius came out. But remember, fire sign kept coming out as a block here, right? So if that's not you and this person, could be the connected energy. But because they were unawakened, they said a lot of things they should not have said. They said them out of anger and fear, projecting their pain onto you and literally thinking you were the person that they had buried to the bottom of their soul, their own shadow. I'm sorry for hurting you with my words. Now, magical muse. This is why they watch you, to grow. They're seeing you as their magical muse. They became inspired by your presence, your energy, your beauty. Without you, they're missing their tools for the next masterpiece. Okay, one more for that. Maybe they question if you guys are really connected. Telepathic victim mentality still a little bit. And that is also probably another reason, because that's what I keep feeling. The beautiful transition, but I still don't think they're completely seeing everything perfectly just yet. Just with the lack of the depth of your soul that's still lacking in the perception. They don't know it, but they're so focused on the end stop that you've got to just trust that the universe is protecting this, because that's what tore you guys apart. They could have thought this was because it tore it apart, or this or that or this. It's because they never truly accepted you. So until they truly accept you, which means they're truly accepting themselves, if it really is a mirrored divine connection, it won't work. It won't work. I just can't. I'm feeling hopeless and helpless, and there's nothing to do. Blah, blah, blah. They know time is ticking here, so they just need to transition out of this, but the universe would be guiding this, right? Let that time tick in their mind. One more. That's good. Spiritual practices. Beautiful. And again, the more they're feeling this, the more they're looking in, the more they're growing, the more they're finding knowledge. And I just said it before, until they connect to this version of themselves, they'll never accept this version of you. And that's what created detriment. They could think it's every other external thing, was that they never really knew you, right? They never took the time to know you. They never took the time to understand you. Vice versa. Unsent messages. Let them sit on them until the universe releases it. Okay. I just want to get these quickly. All right, let's just get a few. Oh, good. The spiritual isolation. Good. Reflecting on the good times. Head over heart still. For a reason. But they're transforming. This is why we wanted to get these. We wanted to see some soul transformation cards. Through this isolation, through the deep reflection, through that mice energy and everything that they're going through internally, even though they're really stuck in their head right now, I do think their heart, when the universe lets it, will lead them, right? They're reflecting on the good times, the things that they didn't see, the things that they regret literally thinking that you were. Good times. Soul agreement, soul contract. And they're starting to understand the depth of this connection. We say until they activate the 5D knowing, you got no hope. Head over heart, because a secret. So they still, sign. This is why. So they still have fear. Remember at the start I said your sight, it's because they were backed in a corner with their mistruths. Until they accept this, because you're always going to see. Your dynamic will not work without this person being honest. And this is what traps them in their mind. This is why current perception, you're not coming out the right way. Yes, beautiful surface things, wants a future, sees you as a they need to accept you. They need to accept you, because otherwise they'll never be honest. They'll always be trying to hide things, and this they just need to accept. If they really believe this is twin divine, your love will conquer all. You're not going to hold these things again. You will evolve through it, right? But they need to believe it. They need to believe it, because it's the secrets that are still kept here. At the time, you wouldn't have even seen that. I had 3 cards that were in this deck when I was shuffling that came out. So underneath transformation, you've got the Magician, Temperance, and the World sign. But how they've been avoiding everything. This is what's transforming. Knowing that you're over it, finally burnt bridge, and that you'll no longer accept their games. Okay, the telepathy again through the isolation that they're trying to push away. I think it freaks them out, gives them butterflies. I think it gives them nerves, let's be real. One more overall. This telepathy is how they weren't seeing this, how their vision was distorted. Perfect. My views on relationships were distorted from past experiences, the chaos. We touched on it all. They know. Good. Now they just need to really heal that. Okay. They are planning, well, not, I think they will be planning something, a big surprise. When it's time, it's shifting, which is very good. Okay. You know what? I was going to get tarot, but I don't think I should. I think I should let this unfold for you guys. What I am going to get, though, is some twin flame energy cards that you guys need to work on in this time to just focus on you and trust, right? Doesn't matter what's coming next. You need to trust in the divine with that justice curtain. That's what's really happening right now for the right collective. So it's learning to trust and surrender, right? Okay. So first one, telepathic messages. It amazes me when we say the same things at this, and your social media is a key. So without you knowing, you would be posting things, saying things, wearing things that completely align, and it's freaking them out. The same time we finish each other's sentences. Number 10, 11th of the 10th, 10th of the 11th. Our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. So the universe is saying, just believe. You may not be here in the 3D. You are one everywhere else, right? Be in union frequency, not separation frequency. Don't even focus on it. This collective, you're naturally detaching with your focus. You're starting to question this love in all avenues, where this person's starting to understand this love. Your veils are shifting, right? Don't be negative though. Just release it. Surrender, pray, do things you love. I know in my heart we'll be together one day, and that helps me trust. Let's keep working on us. Keep working on yourself, right? Number 10, the karmic ties. That King of Wands is a big one here. I'm feeling controlled by people around me, and I don't like it. It's pushing me to find my power again. They're choosing isolation through it. So anything that's controlling you to be a certain way, act a certain way, listen, muck up your belief system that you've been working so hard to change. Remove right now. Have strength in this. It'll help your threads. And telepathic message. When I let myself go deeper into the thoughts of you, I can feel my heart opening again. And that's what's happening. Okay, your mission. So 10th of the 2nd, 2nd of the 10th. I know this is more than a relationship, and that there's a higher purpose to our connection. They're starting to understand this through telepathic messages, things you're saying, things you're doing. Perfect. Union. Another mission card. Keep working on your mission. I'm beginning to focus on my mission, and our connection is a big part of that. Oh my God, you got it. And smack bang in the middle. That card hardly ever comes out. So underneath, I know in my heart we'll be together as one. Let's just keep working on each other. You got the Divine Union card. This card never comes out. Well, it does, but very, very rare. This is 1111. We are coming into union. Just keep middle one, middle row. Just keep focusing on yourself, right? And then with that card, it was, I wish I could say what I really wanted to say. Someday I will, but right now I'm afraid to be myself, for a reason, because they're still not seeing you properly, because they're not seeing themselves properly. They need to understand themselves at a deep level to understand you at a deep level. Mirror's reflection, right? Trust the universe. 8, 9, and 11, 11. 10, 9, 8. You've got so many 11s on this spread. Okay, karmic ties. I'm triggered by old patterns. Oh, I'm triggered and old patterns have surfaced and it hurts. These karmic people are bringing up patterns here. Another 11 and a 1. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. So every time they're releasing the karmic interference, the memories, the good type things are strengthening. Trust the universe. And then this one, I let myself go into deeper feelings, heart opening. I long for your kisses and your touch. Another patterns. I feel like I don't deserve your love. I'm worried that's something they need to work on. Internal self and insecurities and worthiness. I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. They're still scared of who they really are, their secrets. They've got to accept this. They've got to believe that your love and you as a person will accept it. That compassion, the emotional center, the star, they still don't really understand that about your soul. They're still worried a little bit. And that's what really needs to shift. Sad. Oh, I keep missing the timer. So you got the little ducky, you got the teapot, you got the full moon, new moon energy, the golden elixir. So the teapot, you could have just made a nice beautiful tea. I see that as a witchy poo one. Ducks, you could have a memory with ducks, but intuition, you could have just seen some ducks. Golden elixir, this is a twinny charm. Your energies are calling to one another. M and V. Elephant, your perseverance is paying off. Just trust, luck is on your side. Golden butterfly. Big transformation happening. And then you got the Venus star. Star of love. Star of magic. Okay. And then M came out again. MM. You could be eating M&Ms. Oh, and then there's a E on the table as well. Okay. 4-4. Don't give up. 11th of the 6th, 6th of the 11th, 18th of the 11th, 18. Angel number. 28th of the 11th, 28th of the 10th, 2nd of the 8th, 8th of the 2nd, 10th of the 11th, 11th of the 10th, 1001, 101 angel number. There's a reason I said 1001. 6 of the first of the 6th. All right, my loves. Lots of love. Be positive and have a good day.